peaks performance.
Yep, so starting with, we have 3 exercises. The first exercise we're going to do is it's going to be for the actual biceps brachii, okay? So you have the insertion point, or where it attaches up top, and it comes all the way down here just below to a bone that actually will rotate, okay, rotate this forearm here, all right? So when we get in there, you're going to see it being supported by this elbow, and then when we're coming up, we're going to get a nice squeeze supination, because what that actual muscle does is it supinates here, okay? Then we're going to come into another position where we're going to come up, and this position we're going to be in a neutral position, and this is going to be for the brachialis. That is a muscle that is underneath the actual 2 biceps, but you're going to come in this position because at this position, the bicep, the 2 biceps lose actual tension because it's above, okay, this insertion point here. And last but not least, we're going to get a dumbbell here for Lars, and we're going to activate, okay, that brachioradialis by having him flex his wrist and do some hammer curls, okay, hammer curls there. So just 3 different ways to work the elbow flexors and the bicep.
Oh, all right, so let's head in the gym and see how that actually looks like.
Yeah. So cable, right, getting ourselves in position to actually get in a shortened position for supination or rotation of the forearm. So Lars will go ahead and sit down here, okay? So he wants to make sure that his shoulder is nice and stable, okay? Because what this bicep actually is a stabilizer of the shoulder position. So I have to get him in a position where this line of pull, okay, line of pull is going to be in line with there. So I'm going to bring this cable down. I think one of the positions which is really nice is to have this type of handle here so he can actually grip it this way. So I'll have him line it up a little bit lower, there. And you can go ahead and grab. So when he comes here, all right, I want him to then come all the way up, and as he comes there, supinate at the end here, okay? One of the things that you'll see people do as you come back down is that they'll actually supinate with the wrist, and that's actually not really getting full supination with the bicep. So when he comes back up, then he supinates at the end, and he gets a nice squeeze of that bicep. That's a fully shortened biceps brachii, okay? Right there, good. So we are focusing on the actual biceps brachii, and what that does is that is going to actually really shorten this peak of the actual bicep here, okay? This shortened position here. And what you're going to do is really get a nice pump, but we'll move on to the next one. Yeah. So moving from what we just did, the biceps brachii, we're moving to the brachialis. So as I talked to you about where with the biceps brachii, it's attached here. So if I put myself in this position and I go higher, that bicep loses all tension here, okay? And what will take over is the brachialis. So what happens now, if I put him in a neutral position, okay, and I have him come here and come up, he can get a nice ache here, okay? Get a nice ache and get a great pump. So if you look at the actual anatomy of the 2 muscles, the brachialis is the one that's underneath the biceps brachii, so it will get a nice pump, okay? When you put it in the flex position, right, now this obviously loses tension here, the biceps brachii, but now you're in line with the brachialis here, okay? And now you give this a moment to actually contract here, okay? Yep. So what I'll have you do is I'll have you grab here,
yeah,
okay, and grab here, okay? So then put him in this position as he comes down, and he's going to flex behind, and it's just going to be a short movement here, bringing back up there and coming back down and squeezing, squeeze back there, there. So this is not a lengthened position, it's just nice and short so you can get a good pump in that position. Getting more peak underneath those bicep brachii. Yeah, good, nice.
Yeah. Like that.
Yeah, so last but not least, we're going to go for the third one, which is the Radial Brachialis. If you come down, this is going to be the lateral part, and it's going to be, really you can activate that by flexing the wrist. You can see that movement coming there, all right? So it will be a normal hammer curl. We're still going to have the elbow being supported though. So if you can grab that, you're coming down. So when he comes down, you see him activate that with the turn of the dumbbell and then coming through that motion right there. That's good. All right. But if you see him activate it again, and if he comes all the way, he can come all the way up, but what happens is he's going to lose some tension in this here because obviously at this point he doesn't have as much range of motion or much tension on that brachioradialis. Another way to actually gain even more tension, if he slides this all the way up and he then contracts, coming all the way back up, and you can really feel that because this tension, this weight is a little bit farther away from this muscle here. Yeah. So those are 3 exercises that we can work the elbow flexors and the biceps. Hopefully you guys got something from that. Yep.
Yeah. If you have any comments about or any questions to this video, you can just write them in the box below, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible.
Yeah.